welcome. Sorry, I'm running a little bit late, but I'm here. So, how are you doing? Oh my God, what a week it's been. Oh, we're almost done with this whole pandemic. So, I'm hoping 6 months from now, a year from now, this will be in the review mirror. Wouldn't it be great that we can just walk around and go, oh my. One of the things I really enjoy is going to the movies. Every week I go to the movies. Unbelievable. Okay, so I have my Cheneuf du Pape. This is 2008. I opened up another glass. I started it earlier this week, finished it off. Now I'm on to the new glass. So, welcome to another wonderful show. Thank you for joining me for another thrilling episode of Margot with Margot. Hello. Mm, that is just simply divine. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I don't know. I love wine. I love wine. I love wine. I do like coffee and I do like green juices. I drink a lot of the matcha green tea, which is really healthy and really good. It doesn't taste as good as I would like, but I know it has a lot of antioxidants and it has a lot of healthy, good things for our body. So I do drink that, but I do drink my wine. So we will do a show on wine at one point. It's just been quite a different world that we've all been exposed to, and it just felt like to do a whole show about wine in the middle of a pandemic when people have lost their jobs and unemployment's high. I thought maybe I should focus on how to improve your life, and so that's where this whole idea of the series came from. Was instead of talking about business, instead of just diving right into some really critical, great, meaty issues around business and how business works, and if you want to start your own business, all those questions, I thought the most important thing to start out was your mind. Because without a healthy, vibrant, open mind, how are you going to achieve all this great stuff if you're planning on getting married and having your children, if you're planning on expanding your company and your business, or you're thinking of starting your own business, or perhaps changing companies and getting a new job with a better boss because you're tired of the old boss, or just making some significant changes, perhaps maybe just changing where you live. Everything starts with the power of your thoughts. And if we don't have the thinking, how are we going to get there? So the first step is to learn the power of your thoughts. Let's go in. I just want to quickly mention a couple of notes. Today at the White House, they had the CEO and president of Gilead Sciences there, and they talked about this a new drug, remdesivir. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but go online, Google it. There's a lot of information. So if you know someone who has coronavirus or has any of the symptoms, this could be the answer. This could be the drug that can answer their prayers. So we want to make sure that we get this information out. You have to take control of your health. When I go into the doctor, I know if not more, just as much, if not more than the doctor knows. That's how much research I do. I know about genes. I know about this. I take control because you want to make sure you're pointing the right doctor for your care, and you should get different opinions, get different input. It's your body, it's your life, so it's very important to take control over your destiny. And finding out about this drug, if you know someone who has coronavirus, this could be wonderful. I got tested yesterday. I stood in the drive-through. I'm in California, in the Los Angeles area, and if you're in LA County, even if you don't have the symptoms, you could do the drive-through. So it was really quite easy. The line was long. The appointment was at noon. By the time I got done, I think it was like 2:15 yesterday. So it's like 2 hour wait. So if you are going to do it in Los Angeles, just keep in mind it's going to be a long wait. But it was fine. I caught up on all my reading. I read a lot of books, and it was great. I was just happy to get it done. I will find out the results in about 5 days. So once I get the results back, I'll let you know either way. But I have a feeling I don't have it. I don't have any of the symptoms. So I think I'm fine. So they're working on many vaccinations besides that one. There's many more coming. Also, I want to do a shout out for all those people out there that want to go back to work and are protesting. I absolutely love it. I've never seen so many American flags. I've never been so excited to be an American and people are making a stand. Look, I disagree with what my governor wants to do. And by God, I want to go back to work. I want to go back to my life, because I hate to say, the truth of the matter is a lot of the government officials, a lot of people who are governors or or in politics, they don't have anything to worry about. They get paid no matter what. And so for them to dictate where everyone else feels and does, I don't think it's true. I think they should continue to protest. I think they should work it out. We appoint people in power, political power, so to speak, and they should serve our needs and give us the choice to make those decisions. So there, I did have someone on Instagram yesterday, because I talked about freedom, and she said, "I like staying at home. I think it's dangerous. I don't think you should go out. I'm totally against it." And I said, "Well, just stay home. Look, if you don't want to go out, we're not saying, hey, go out, but to keep 300 million or 200 million people not working because a few people feel uncomfortable, and they have every right to feel uncomfortable. It's their body. Don't go out. And wear a mask, be careful, keep 6 feet away, and do whatever you can, and just don't expose yourself." If you're one of those people. Now, if you're a person who says, "Look, I don't mind taking a risk," still go out, wear a mask, and 6 feet away, but go back to work. If you have a company that can go back to work and keep things moving, why not? It's your life, it's your family's life, and everything rides on this great country. It's a wonderful place. People sacrifices for us to live this life. People have fought in wars, people have gone through hell. I mean, we are living the American dream, and we want to continue to live that American dream, because of people who've passed away before us, who've laid down their life for our great country. We are not doing any service for them. They want us to be free and continue this prosperity, this great life that we have in the United States. So that's my feeling on it. So if you're protesting, I love it. I feel the American flag. Every time I see it, I just think it's beautiful. Let's go ahead and get started. So yesterday I spoke about 10 reasons to have a positive mental attitude, because I knew that the importance of being positive is the only way that you can really grow and really sustain a life. Because negative people they tend to have problems. We know them. They're destructive, they're negative, and they're sort of the darker side of human behavior and human thinking. We care for them. We love everyone. We love everyone unconditionally. We're loving beings, but we know that it's kind of an illness, this negative attitude. So today, I decided to talk about the following: 10 ways to use the power of your thoughts. Now, if I sound as though I'm talking about something I spoke yesterday, well, that's okay. It's a really great understanding. The power is in your thoughts. The power is in you. You hear that a lot. And people go, "Well, where is the power? If it's in me, I don't see it." Hello. You have to understand who you are and the being that you are. God created you with unlimited amount of intellect and power, and it's in you. Now, if you're a person who has any mental challenges, I recommend addressing them on an emotional level. There could be a physiological level, there could be an emotional level. What I mean by that is something holding you back from capturing the full use of your mind. So that would be another show to talk about. So the first step is, well, you got to love yourself. If you have the power of your thoughts and you don't know how to love yourself, to know you have this power, you're kind of at a loss, right? Because you're going to take in all the information around you, whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, whether it's society, whether it's the news, whether all that information outside of yourself, you will just accept it without question, because you don't know your own power. And it's really important, because human beings, we're on the cusp of a really good shift and changing of our thinking. We're becoming more conscious. We're becoming more aware of our planet. We're becoming very open-minded spiritual beings. So we have to understand how to harness that great power that God has given us. All of us are connected. All of us have this power, and we all can use it together to help heal not only ourselves, but to heal the world. You have the power. Now, you'll say, "Well, where is the power?" I want you to do the following. Spend maybe 5-15 minutes, and I want you to repeat these words to yourself, and close your eyes. Now, it may sound silly at first, but you need to find that power. You'll hear it in your voice. You'll start to tap into it. So what I do is I repeat the statement, "I am." And I repeat it, and I close my eyes and I say, "I am. I am." And sometimes your thoughts will veer off a little bit into something negative because the negative thoughts may say something like, "Why are you talking to yourself?" Keep it up. Do it for like 5 or 10 minutes in your mind by yourself. Just sit there and sort of close your eyes, say, "I am, I am." What you're doing is you're finding your power, you're finding your thoughts. There's an inner thoughts that are underneath all the noise, and you have to tap into those thoughts. The second reason to take the power of your thoughts is you want to be happy. Happy is our natural way of life. It's our way of living, it's our way of breathing. And happiness is our birthright. And that's why it was written in the Constitution about happiness. If you go back and you read that every man has the goal of pursuit of happiness. You were born to be happy. Now, if you're not happy, you're not going to be able to harness the power of your thoughts. If you're negative, you will harness the power of your thoughts in a negative way. And a negative way is destructive. It's destructive to your being, it's destructive to other human beings, it's destructive to human life. It's the antithesis of life. It's the opposite. And if you have that in that opposite way of thinking, that power will work. Oh, yes, you will manifest whatever your thoughts are because your mind is powerful negatively. But do you really want to go down that path? I'll give you a wonderful, wonderful example. Um, and sometimes when we see people do negative things, we think, well, they're never going to get caught. Our justice system isn't justice as much as we would love it to be because it's run by people. And we only get the type of justice system that we allowed ourselves to have. And that means that people should have to stand up when there's injustice. You have to beat against power if something is wrong. We get the justice that we deserve. And so if people are asleep at the wheel, people are not paying attention, things do slip through the cracks. And that's why there's so many problems in our justice system. There are really good people, but unfortunately there are people who are not. And so that's another whole subject matter in itself. But happiness is where your natural state of mind. So when you're happy, you can state that. Now, you'll say to yourself, well, I feel pretty bad. Well, this is how you're going to create happiness. You're going to be happy just because you're alive. You're going to make it a very simple thing. You're going to wake up in the morning and you're not going to tie your happiness to material things, people, situations, or any of that. You're going to tie your happiness to just being grateful. I'm here and I'm alive. Therefore, I'm happy. Very simple, not a lot of drama, the whole bit. Another way to harness the power of your thoughts is monetary success. Now, we talked about a little bit of this yesterday by positive mental attitude, but your thoughts have great power. So, if you want to change your financial situation, which most people feel they want to do, you have to figure out why you're in your financial situation. Is it because of what you were told you can earn? Was it because that's what you thought success looked like? You have to figure out the puzzle pieces. Why are you earning and doing what you're doing if you want to change it? So if you want to change it, you're waking up and you're in the middle of a pandemic, you have a crappy job, and you're just bored to death and thinking, what am I doing with my job? You're going to have to figure out, why did you make that choice? It was your choice. Whether it was, obviously it was an opportunity that presented itself, but did you really have to take that job? Was it really that particular job? Perhaps if you looked a little further, perhaps you have to ask yourself, why did you take that job? Why am I choosing this career if I'm not happy? Now, if you're happy in your career and you're successful and happy, this doesn't, of course, apply to you. But this is for people who really don't feel that they're happy. They're not satisfied with their job and they're not satisfied with their money. So you need to figure out, why am I not earning what I feel I should earn? And how do I earn what I think I should earn? Or how much more money should I have? These are the kind of questions you're going to have to sort of sit down with you and yourself and analyze. Why am I in this situation? Now, once you understand and you dissect all the puzzle pieces of what you're doing, the next question, because you have the power of your thoughts, and it's powerful, you're going to decide where it is you really want to be. Where do I really want to be? How can I use my power of my thoughts to create the life I want and to be where I want to be? So we'll give a great example. Suppose you are now a janitor at Hilton Hotels, which I shouldn't mention a company name. Well, let's just give an example. You work for in the hotel industry and you're cleaning floors and you're asking yourself, what the hell am I doing cleaning the floors? And you're listening to me, Margot. I'm just going to here to tell you that you need to take control of the power of your thoughts. And you're going to say to yourself, well, the reason I clean the floor is because perhaps I was uneducated, perhaps my parents came from another country, perhaps it was the only job I could find with my 5 kids. I want you to take the power of your thoughts. I want you to understand that you have the power to shift and make a change. It's how you see yourself. You have to see yourself not continuing as a janitor. See yourself, whatever role that it is to do. You're going to use the power of visualization. You're going to use the power of your thoughts. You're going to visualize the life that you want, whether I don't know what it is, where you're living, what you're doing. You're going to sit home and you're going to write it out, what it is you want, and you're going to sit back and you're going to see yourself achieving whatever that achievement is. And you can obtain it. So those are some really kind of good steps. Now, is there anything that I'm mentioning on here that you want clarification, you want more information? Email me. I have plenty of information on how to do any of this stuff. The next one reason to use the power of your thoughts is the power to heal your own body. You have the power to heal your own body. Now, you're going to say to yourself, well, I've never heard of anyone healing their own body. That's true. But you also, up to 100 years ago, human life only lived about 40 years in the U.S., 45 years in the U.S., and some parts of the world still low. But now human life can live in the United States about 80 years old. So we've done something different. And how did we get that power? What did we do? Another interesting note is just because you can't see yourself healing yourself doesn't mean it actually does happen quite a bit. When you fall and you get a scar or you fall, it heals itself. When you break your leg, it heals itself. We're healing ourselves all the time. There are constant invaders going into the human body, viruses, bacteria, all this stuff. We're fighting it off. So the key point is, how do I use the power of my thoughts to heal myself? Well, you're going to use the power of your thoughts because you're going to focus your thoughts. It's like thoughts are like a laser beam. So you're going to pinpoint what area of your body needs healing. And you are going to use your mind to help that part heal. So when you take a deep breath, and the breath is life going into your body, you're going to tell the breath, this air, this life, to go in a specific area and to heal itself. And you're going to visualize your body healing. You're going to think of yourself healing. You're going to feel yourself getting strong. You're going to go into a meditative state. You're going to use the power of your thoughts. It may take 10, 15 minutes a day. If you can do it maybe twice a day, it'd be great. You're going to go into your mind and you're going to direct and tell your mind what to tell your body what to do. Your body is already working and it's doing it sort of haphazardly. And you're going to go in and you're going to tap in and you're going to heal your thoughts. You're going to heal your body by telling your body what to do. Now, another invader that's common to our lives at this point is cancer, which I feel at some point we're going to eradicate cancer. Now, we're going to probably do it based on our thoughts. So cancer is a growth. And if you've studied people, if you've read any books or any information about people who have cancer, it tends to be a psychological, spiritual, emotional issue that's underlying the cancer. And Louise Hay wrote a wonderful book called To Heal Your Life. And you have to figure out where this illness came from because it's in your thoughts. So I'll give you an example. Suppose you have cancer and you can't figure out why you have cancer, but this has happened to many people, that they were molested as a child, they were abused as a child, and they internalized their thought process, and they took in all those negative thoughts, and the body reacts to that. So if your thoughts are negative, you will create that kind of bad energy system in your body, and that's where cancer stems from. Now you're going to say to yourself, well, if that's true, why is everybody dying of cancer? Why aren't they using the power of thoughts? Most people don't have an idea how to use it or what to do or how to do it. It's something that's new. No one talks about it. I don't have proof to show you. I can't heal someone on the spot to give you this great confirmation, but it's in line with the power of your thoughts. We're not even begin to surface the power of your thoughts. And that's why it's important that your words you speak create your reality. If you keep telling yourself you're unattractive, you'll be unattractive. You have to understand it's all in your mind, it's all in your words. What are you consciously telling yourself? What do you think about all day? Why am I thinking that way? So you got to, it's kind of a deep thing, but you can do it. It just takes a little bit of time. So if you have an unhealthy body and you want a healthy body, so these are some affirmations you could say to yourself. And you could create these on your own. They're kind of like mantras. And you say, like for instance, I woke up today and I tell myself, I have a strong and healthy body. I affirm in this physical reality through my thoughts that I have a strong, healthy body every day. And in my quiet moments, I have a strong, healthy body. And when you put food in your body, make sure it's healthy food. You're going to tap into the spiritual realm, to God or intelligence, and say and affirm that this food is going to heal my healthy body. Healthy mind, healthy body. So that's another thing. Is a positive thoughts is a healthy body. That's number 4. Another positive thing is a happy relationship with others, which is the hardest part of all. How to use the power of your thoughts to help your relationships? Well, a couple of things. One, you're going to have to understand that people are going to do what people want to do. They're going to say what they want to say. Their actions are what they're going to do. You're not going to associate your inner happiness, your thoughts, with their outcome. But what you can do is you can send out loving energy to that person. Perhaps you have a coworker that's always angry. What you're going to do is you're going to affirm and you're going to use the power of your thoughts. You're going to sit at your desk if you're at your desk. I don't know where you may be. And her name is Mary. And you're going to say, I send Mary loving thoughts. I send Mary loving thoughts. Mary is my friend. Mary is a loving person. You're sending her this positive energy. Now, what's interesting is we're all very connected. And we are, correct? When you think of someone, they call you out of the blue. It's the craziest thing. You haven't spoken to someone like 2 years, all of a sudden your phone ringing like, whoa, I was just thinking of them. Well, that was the power of your thoughts. So you're using your power of your thoughts all the time. You're now just harnessing it. You're taking control of it. You're taking that power and you're controlling it. So Julie is sitting there and she's negative. So what you do in your interaction with the negative person, you want to create a healthy relationship, you always say something lovely about that individual. I use it all the time. I have to interact with all kinds of people all the time. People want to be loved. People want to feel valued and special. It's one of our innate human needs. We're social beings. We want to feel loved and want to feel connected. So perhaps you could do something like this. You could say, Mary, I really appreciate all the work you helped me with last week in that assignment. If it wasn't for your help, where would I be? I talked to the phone. You call hotels. You call everywhere. You're always making phone calls to somebody. And I always say something positive. If it's a business, I'll say, her name is Suzanne. I say, Suzanne, I really, truly, she'll pick up the phone. Hi, this is so-and-so. My name's Suzanne. I say, Suzanne, it's really wonderful to speak with you today. Am I so fortunate to have you on the phone? Because I know you'll be able to assist me on this difficult problem that I have. And most of the time, the person said, of course, I'll be able to help you. And I said, thank you. I really, truly appreciate it. So what you're doing is you're sending her positive images. You're sending her positive messages. Before you get on the phone, if there's a problem, you're going to visualize that problem already being solved. You're going to repeat to yourself the problem is already solved in your mind. So the signal will go out to whoever answers the phone. They will pick up the phone and they will respond accordingly. You're using the power of your thoughts. And then if they're difficult and you don't feel you can work with them, you can always call back later. But for the most part, you can bring the goodness within the person. And sometimes I'll say this, Julie, for being so kind, I want to call your boss and ask that you get a raise. I want you to know that I value your time. I value your expertise in helping me resolve this. And I want to put in a good word. I want you to get a raise. And you know what? Once in a while, it actually happens. Or if the boss comes on the phone, they say, well, I can't give her a raise, but I certainly put in a good review. you're not only helped that person, you helped yourself, you helped everybody. It's a win-win situation. So that's why it's important to do it. Now, if you have a disagreement with your spouse or children, which is another thing to be concerned about, is you have to understand all of us want to be loved and valued. So you have to figure out what the real disagreement is. And it's not an easy thing. Sometimes what you're arguing with your kids and your spouse on the surface, there's another deeper reason of why. Perhaps your husband doesn't feel valued enough. Maybe your daughter doesn't feel like you care really about her as much as you believe you care. Maybe you could sit down and listen. Listening is a really good one, is to try to understand how this person sees their world. You're an individual, I'm an individual, we all see the world differently. And what you're going to do is you're going to visualize harmony in your life. You're going to visualize your spouse um, saying loving thoughts. You're going to visualize your children being loved and special. You're going to harness those thoughts so the thoughts will come out of your mind and it will tap into your family and your close ones. So you're going to throw those thoughts out there. You're going to say, I love my husband, Jim. He's such a wonderful, devoted father. My daughter, Julie, is one. You're going to repeat those thoughts, repeat those thoughts. You're going to repeat them in the morning. And what you're going to see is you're going to start seeing a shift. It's going to be magic. You're going to thank me. It's a really good one. I hope you thank me. But if it's okay, it's okay. If you don't want to thank me, that's fine. I don't want to take any credit, but it will make a difference. Okay. Another thing is to figure out why you're not using your thoughts. You're going to have to understand you're a human being. Everybody's human. You have the same power at your disposal as everyone else. You just need to figure out how to harness it, how to use it, how to create what you want. Now, another good thing that I do is I always write down my goals. And I write down goals and I try to pick people that I like to work with. It makes it easier. Now, if you're a difficult person, I have to work with you. I will work with you because I've worked with difficult people too. I come in with that same positive, loving attitude. And typically, I'll do a visualization. If the person has issues, I try to send out my positive thoughts in the morning because I know I'm going to have to deal with a difficult person. I'm like, okay, I know Robert is difficult. So I'll get up, my notes, and I'll send my messages out to Robert. And I say, Robert is in a good mood today. Robert is really wonderful to work with. Robert is a great guy. I keep emphasizing that image in my head. And I place the image because I want him to know that he's valued and I like him, I care about him. And hopefully it will reach his higher level of thinking. He will hear my signals and he will act accordingly. Also, another important thing is to teach your children the same power of their thoughts, that they can manifest and create what they want. In the next 50, 75, I don't know, 100 years, we'll all will be using the power of our thoughts to create everything we want. We will all be just a one harmonious society. It's definitely, we're on that way. We're sort of transitioning from our ego and our selfishness. Right now, the world is in chaos because our ego and selfishness is still underlying, it's still there. But we're going to get to the point where we're going to transcend all of this and we're going to create a harmonious life. It's not going to be you against me, but we're all going to be one. And you're going to be able to use your thoughts to create healthy relationships. You're going to be able to have healthier thoughts to heal your body. You're going to have healthier thoughts to create the kind of life and world that you want. You're going to use those thoughts. Also, another good reason to use your power of your thoughts. I think it's a given right. I think it's your God given right that God has created you in this world. And the purpose of human existence is, it could be you want nice things, which is okay with me because I do too. That's why I have the wine. But deeper than that is supporting and loving and helping everyone evolve and to grow. And everybody's at different levels of growth, depending on their environment, depending on how they were raised. There are a lot of people are suffering that are in other parts of the world, but even here in the United States, where there's an abuse going on, where there's child abuse, husband abuse. I mean, there's just so many ways, unfortunately, that abuse occurs in our world. And our goal, my goal, and I hope all of you that are listening, is we want to lift that. We want to take away abuse. We want to create a loving life where you feel the power, this person feels their power, and we create a harmonious, loving society. Now, I'm hoping this happened during my lifetime. If I live to like 130, believe it or not, I'm actually shooting for that high, if you want to know the truth. Um, live to 150 years old, or whatever the case may be, 50, 75 years from now. I hope that this can happen. I hope it doesn't take another 500,000 years. I don't know. It's all about us supporting and loving each other so we can help each other reach a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of well being, a higher level of thinking, a higher level. And we have that power within us. You're not your job, you're not your title, you're not your bank account. You are a powerful being just by the mere point you exist. From the circumstances of your birth, it's really kind of extraordinary that you're even here. You could have died in childbirth. You could have died in your, in your mom. You could have. There's so many different things that could go wrong in life, and just that you are listening to me is really kind of momentous because it's so rare that you would find me on YouTube at this very moment saying something that will absolutely speak to you. You have the power. Now it's up to you to figure out how to use that power. Now, if you want more information, you want to know more, I'd be happy. Send me an email, be able to talk about it even more fully and deeply. But just keep in mind, you are powerful. I don't care where you're from, how you look, who you are, I don't, you were born that way. It has nothing to do with any of these outside circumstances. All of that outside stuff is based on ego. It's based on controlling you. If you think if I can get you to think a certain way based on your gender, based on your race, based on where you live, then I can control you. No one controls you. You have the power to make decisions in your life and create the life that you so well deserve, if you deserve it. Now, I don't want to say that you don't have to work for everything you have. You do. It's a unison type of thing. You use your visualization, you use your thoughts, but you work really hard to manifest those thoughts into physical reality, because you have to bring it here. It's in another dimension, whatever it is that you want to achieve, but you have to bring it into the physical realm. And it's all based on your belief and your power, and understanding that your power is there for you to use for good. Now, there are people who use negativity, they use it all. They're very destructive, if you've noticed. They usually don't live very long, they usually have problems. That's a whole nother discussion in itself, and they're using in a negative way. Those are the type of people I try to stay away from, because I can sense that they're using their power in a negative realm, and I don't like anything negative. So, but there, unfortunately, we may bump into someone like this. We may see someone like this. We may work with someone. We may even have a relationship with someone like this. You just have to figure out that you know what their game is and that you see through it, but you still send them loving energy. You still know what they're doing. You just understand this is where they're at their point in their evolutionary process. I want to thank you all for joining me for this another thrilling episode of Marco with Marco. Power of your thoughts. Remember it. You have what it takes to succeed. You have what it takes to do what you want. You have the power to create. You have the power to heal your body. You have the power to create what it is that you want. But be careful what you ask for. I've seen this happen. People go, oh, I want all this fame. They get the fame and they're absolutely miserable. So be careful what you ask for. Know why you're doing something. Like, for instance, when I started this show, I didn't do it for money or fame. I did it because I really saw problems and I felt I should try to do something to help. And that's my only motivation. Everything else is not that important. My goal and the importance is that you learn something and that you gain something and that you grow and that you become all that you're meant to be. And if you study any of the great athletes, any of the great people in life, they have this mindset. So have a wonderful evening. I am going to have a little bit of steak, not too much red meat, just a little, and some wine. And I will be here on Monday. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We'll continue to talk about your thoughts and the power of your thoughts. If you have any questions about this, I have plenty of great information, plenty of all kinds of stuff. Keep an open mind. The power of your thoughts happens when your mind is open. You have to challenge your way of thinking so you can continue to grow throughout your lifetime. Continue to expand your awareness. Continue to read information that particularly may not even pertain to you. Continue to grow. Continue to open the soul and the mind of all possibilities. We're all children in a sense, and we're all learning and growing together. Thank you. See you on Monday. Cheers.